She became the first British female artist since Dua Lipa to land 2 singles in the UK top 15. And now she's here in New York. In fact, just played Bowery Ballroom last night to a sold-out crowd. Mimi Webb, everyone. How was it?
It was so good. Thank you. I love you. It was really, really good. It was amazing that, sold out show in New York. I couldn't believe it. I was just shocked. So very happy.
First, you see yourself in Times Square, and then you see yourself like on this stage. It's a sold-out show. That must be incredible. I know you've played some pretty big festivals overseas, but like, how is the vibe here in New York City or just in the U.S. in general different?
It's really crazy. I think it's just like everyone here is that there's like a difference between music, what works in the UK and works in America. And I think it's more like the fact that, being a UK artist and being able to come out here and sell a show out is like crazy to me. So yeah, I think I think it just feels more special sometimes. Like, not like just because it's like such a big deal to be able to break in America for a UK artist.
Well, I mean, do you look to certain artists that are British and say to yourself, like, this is who I want to be like? I want to be like a Dua Lipa or an Ellie Goulding. Is there anybody like that?
Yeah, I think I'm so inspired by, these incredible female artists that have broken in America. And I think that's exactly, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it to 100%. And whatever you need to do, whatever sacrifice you have to make, you have to do it. And I'm willing to do that. I want to be in a place when I'm 30 and be like, oh, I've done it. I've smashed it. I've really got there. And I think that's such an achievement in yourself. And, I think that's so inspiring. So, yeah, I want to do it for sure. And I've put so much of my life and years before into it. So, yeah, so
you've been doing this since you were like a babe. Because I'm like doing the math in my head, which I suck at. But, I mean, you're a hustler. When did you start with music? How old were you?
I've been doing it since I was like 8. But, yeah, I've been doing it for years. But I'd say when I really was like, right, I'm gonna now go to college, music college, and like really get myself in the environment of music, was when I was 15. I was like, I'm moving out. I'm gonna leave my fam. Like, my family were like, you're leaving me. Like, they hated it, but it was all good. They were very happy for me to go.
Do you think that, I mean, what age were you when they were like, oh, she's really taking it seriously and like wants to leave home to make this happen? Yeah. Like, did they fully support you as, making music your career?
100%. They were like, we want you to go off and do that. Like, you need to go and enjoy and find your calling in the world. I think people without a calling in the world, you're lost. You really are. Like, you don't really know what you're going to do, and it might be something you're kind of put into. But if you don't feel like you're doing what you love, like, you're never going to be. I just don't think it's hard to be happy. So I've done jobs. I worked at shops. I've done a lot of jobs before music, and I was just like, oh, I'm doing it because I need to do something, and I want to be successful, and I want to make money. But when you're really doing something that you love, it's like it's like you're always going to be happy.
I think also the fans pick up on that.
Yeah.
So speaking of your fans,
yeah,
I mean, what is that like? What is your relationship like with them? Do you keep up a barrier, or you just like let everybody in with social media now?
Yeah, I have really now. I've been through a few things, like tough times on tour, and they're like my help. They help me. They're my family, and I have let them in so much now, like really have let them in, and that's a recent thing. I let them in obviously from the start, but when I realised, I was like, these people are there for me no matter what. They love me, and that's my support, and that's what I've always wanted. I've wanted that support, and I just have completely gone, right, guys, I'm all yours. Like, you have me full, and it's an amazing feeling. And yeah, I really, I don't think I could have got through any of this if it wasn't for them.
I mean, you're working so hard. You're young, and I just can't even imagine what it would be like to work 3 years on an album, to do all these festivals, and then come over here to the U.S. You were on Jimmy Fallon. I mean, when do you stop? When do you sleep? When do you try all the restaurants here in New York City?
Yeah. I find my time, like, it is always really manic. I have to, like, slot things in. But, I think I'm now taking this approach where I just want to really enjoy all these moments as much as possible. And when I can rest and enjoy that rest, stop. I always want to be on the go because I get scared that I'll overthink things or I'll get like in my head about stuff. So I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da. But now I'm like, come on, like, just, enjoy it, soak it all up. And yeah, it is like intense, and it's very fast paced, but also building the people around you that are very stable. Like, you need a stable person in your life. Like, you need that support. You need something that feels strong enough to get through anything. So yeah, that's something also that I really have with my family and friends.
Do you have any of your friends or family with you?
My best friend's on tour with me, yeah. She's leaving now, but we've only got one show left, but she's been there for me. Oh my God, like, it was perfect timing she came. I was like, oh, I need this girl. I need my girl. Like, I need her here. So, yeah, we had such a fun time. So, yeah.
And during your downtime, when you have downtime,
yeah,
I have to ask because I'm just nosy. What are you binging? What are you watching?
I am watching, I think, like a series called Dusk to Dawn on Netflix. I'm obsessed. It's like kind of like vampire-y vibes. It's really cool. And yeah, I've really got into that, so that's probably my favorite.
Spooky season. We actually got into the Lord of the Rings prequel, Rings of Power. Everybody's talking about that.
Sick.
Yeah, it's good.
Love
It's
that.
good. So when you're done.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the music for a second, because you've been 3 years in the works with this album, and Amelia is coming out March 3rd here. Okay, so
yeah,
I know who Amelia is, but maybe you can explain to everybody else.
Yeah.
Who is Amelia? Why is she important? And Amelia versus Mimi.
So Amelia is my real name. That's me. I'm Amelia, but I'm also Mimi, and it's about two different people, two different sides of yourself. Where Mimi's like, wants to travel the world, do all these things, and like be really sassy and strong. And then Amelia's wants the exact same things, but she has to really struggle with the certain bits that get low and the low points, and she's the one that has to like she's still finding herself, and even though she thinks she's got it together, she hasn't. She's still kind of like wanting that. So it's these two people that are like want the same thing but on two different levels of like frequency. Like Mimi is just like always so bubbly, like, and that's me. Like these,
it's like
both
Hannah
me.
Montana kind of.
Yeah,
like sort of.
Yeah, it is, and I love it, and it's so fun. But yeah, so it's really fun to have these two characters, and I'm excited to like really explain that in the album.
That's incredible. Any collaborations, or is this album solely about you?
All me. We've got just me really. Yeah, it's all me. So I mean, I don't want to say too much, but there's some really fun people involved in bits. But yeah, I'm definitely like very like, okay, right, this is me, my time. But I'd love to collaborate for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a fun thing, and I never really understand how these collaborations happen. I know that like all you pop stars and celebrities like go to the same parties, like hang out at the the Jenner's house or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like how do these things happen? Like do people slide into your DMs and say, hey, like let's go to the studio, or is it something like a label would put together?
Yeah, I would say I'm very like, I love doing like the whole DM. Like, I like to be connected with people as much as possible, like on my own. Yeah, like I think the label, they are like obviously great and they can help out, but I like to make sure I'm the one that's like doing it as much,
making the
as
connections.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you're doing your own social.
Yeah.
I always wonder about that.
Yeah, no, and also I think it's like, I get help a lot. Like, you need help. So if you can't make a post, someone can post it for you, like all that. But like everything for me, especially with stories, I'm like super like in the moment, and I love sharing everything I do. Like it's terrible. Like I'll get my phone out everywhere. But I think there's no I can do my social easily. I know it's pretty busy, but I like to go on social media. Like social media is like it's my whole life because I'm
you're that generation.
Yeah.
I it's so funny because nowadays, and it doesn't. I'm not even just saying as far as the music industry goes. Social is becoming a part of everyone's job, and you have the people that are embracing the new technology, embracing being online, and then you have people that are like, I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah, literally. It's like that. Some people doing it just because they're getting paid for it, like you said, and then some people doing it because they love it.
That's so cool. What's the coolest thing a fan's ever done for you?
They made me this lovely book with all of my amazing moments, like all my moments within my career, and it was crazy looking back. I was like, oh my God, that girl knew nothing. As in, I knew nothing back then, and now I'm like, oh my God, I've learned so much. Like it's so nice. It was a lovely, lovely gift, and it was amazing just to look back at all these amazing memories.
Wow, it's cool to watch that process. You navigate through your career and just pick things up as you go. And I know you've got a tour coming up. You're going to be overseas. Actually, I wanted to talk about the Bieber of it all first. So you were a support act for Justin Bieber for, I think it was 2 shows.
Yeah.
Sweden, Finland?
Yeah, Finland and Norway.
Yeah. Norwegian. But I mean, I don't know if you would have continued on with him if he didn't pull those shows.
Yeah. It was it was so sad that he pulled those dates, but But also I completely understand, like he's been touring for so many years. It does take it out that it's hard. It's
you
hard.
have to put your health first.
Yeah.
And I think you get it. And I love
completely.
I love that your generation and so many young musicians these days are prioritizing health and mental health and making that a thing, so that you're like not stepping into this whirlwind of chaos.
Yeah, and you need therapy. I do therapy and it's really good. Like, it really keeps you going. And I have this thing where I talk about things and it helps me process it, but there's sometimes a time where you just have to be like, right, this is it, like, come, let's get on with it, like, let's go, that but obviously with Justin Bieber's, I get it, like I completely get it, and I think great, good on him, he's put himself first, and I'm sure he'll be back to see the fans, and they can get all excited for that. But it was the best shows. It was so much fun doing that with him, and just to be there and meet the band, they were great as well. So much fun.
So yeah, you're going from like warming up the crowd to now headlining your own. It must feel so good.
So good. So happy.
That's so cool. So you get a little break between now and then?
Yeah, now's a break, which would be nice. Get my stuff into gear, get ready, geared up for next year now.
That's amazing. And the US interviews, not too hard.
No.
I didn't grill you too bad.
No, love it. I love it.
Mimi Webb, everybody.
Thank you
Check
so
her
much.
out.
Thank you.